Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. All right, please continue to pray for me by singing along with me, gesturing at your screen, hitting the dislike button on this video. Let's pray a couple more times while we wait for a few guests to show up. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. All right, happy Wednesday night. I would like to continue to pray for financial miracles. This February 14th, a month from now, will be the 21st anniversary of the debut of YouTube, and I hope you will join me in hunt brothering the market for indium. And I choose indium because the very screen you're watching this video from contains indium, and it's the 21st anniversary of YouTube. I hope you will join me in driving the price of indium as high as gold at least. I think it's capable of doing that. And the reason for that is your average cell phone has about a few milligrams of indium. I'll let you do the math. Even if indium became worth more than gold, it would not change the price of your cell phone, right? And it's an inelastic demand is what it is, right? We need it. So it's very capable of doing that without any disruption to the market. Now, February 22nd will mark the 40-year anniversary of the People Power Revolution in the Philippines. And I hope you will join me in game stopping the market in the Philippines. The EPHE right now is very undervalued. PE ratio of only 8. Historically, it was closer to 20. Compared to the rest of the world, compared to even the other countries in Southeast Asia, it's very low. And why do I want this financial miracle? Well, one thing I have noticed this past year, I became a millionaire, as you guys know. I noticed something very interesting. I find that my problem solving ability has increased exponentially. So, for example, I work at a tutoring center. I used to have a lot of problems with the students bringing in food that I'm allergic to. I have food allergies. Or something would happen at the center that I need to negotiate, scheduling conflicts, uh, harassment kind of issues. And I notice instead of that being a threat, now it's, oh, I got a puzzle I need to go resolve. And it's completely changed the nature of what work means, what social life means. Earlier today, I had a frustrating situation. I had gone to a meetup group that was held inside of a museum, and they I got into some tension there because they don't let you bring outside food. And I told them I have food allergies. There's nothing in here I can eat. And the guy was very non understanding of it. I told him, you know what, I'm sorry, but I have food allergies. Thank you so much. I'm going to go in with the rest of my group. And he was threatening to call the police. He was threatening to get me trespassed from there. I went along with my group. Do you know what happened next? Nothing. I was actually kind of disappointed that nothing happened. I was hoping they would call the police and I could talk to the police officer in a rational way. This is what I am dealing with. I have this so and so, right? And if I do get trespassed from there, I want the rest of the group to see how irrational the museum was. But guess what? None of that happened. Now, if I didn't have the indium, the mining stocks, the Filipino stocks, would I have played it out this way? I might have had reservations because let's face it, if I went to jail and I lost a couple days of work and I didn't have my safety net, it would have been a very different story, right? Today, if I had gone to jail over this, I probably would have talked to my cellmates, talked to the correctional officers there, and let them know how stupid they'll talk to the judge even about what happened at the museum, right? And get the word out to the media, right? I'm kind of disappointed it didn't play out like that, to be frank. But it's good that I got to enjoy the meetup group, right? And that's what I mean by having financial security. It gives you space and time and clarity, right? Old school Dave, do you agree? Yes or no? Do you agree with having money almost gives you like space? you don't feel like everything is a threat to you as it's happening, right? Even the possibility of going to jail becomes a problem solving exercise as opposed to a threat, right? And I really love that. I really love that. The other thing I want to pray for, aside from the immediate financial wealth, is I want to keep my body young so I can have more time to grow this wealth. Now, to give you an idea of how young I have kept my body, this week is actually an interesting anniversary. 10 years ago, 2016, January, I went on a date with a Generation Z girl for the first time in my life. And I remember calling it breaking the generation barrier. And in the coming years, I'll probably break the next barrier as well. And so I am on track to breaking the Generation Alpha barrier as well, as it looks like. And that's good because that gives me more time for my investments to grow, right? Every 10, 20 years you can buy, that's like doubling, quadrupling your retirement fund, right? How long do you think Bismuth goes to the moon? I hope longer because I want to buy more before it does. I hope my body will stay young while I accumulate all of the world's bismuth before it goes to the moon, right? Plus, I love my art. I'd rather bismuth go to zero, actually. I want some other metal that I don't work with to go to the moon, like silver, right? Ideally, silver, infinity, bismuth, zero. I'll be really happy, right? All right, so please pray for all of that by singing along, gesturing at your screen, and hitting the dislike button on this video. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.